Hello parents, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. For today's discussion, we will be going over language and communication development in children's ages birth to 4 years of age. Firstly, we have our table of contents. This is the material we will be discussing in today's presentation. We will be going over the description of the domain, the importance of the domain, in which case it is language and communication, warning signs parents should be looking out for, and activities to do at home in order to promote language and communication development within their child. I would like to start off the presentation by introducing a quote by Nat Turner that reads, "Good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity." This quote really emphasizes the importance of communication. As previously stated, we will be going over the description of language and communication development. Language is a system of communication that uses symbols in a regular way to create meaning. Language gives us the ability to communicate our intelligence to others by talking, reading, and writing. Although other species have at least some ability of communication, none of them have language like we do. We are the only animals that are able to communicate via language. Young children master language very quickly with relative ease. B.F. Skinner proposed that language is learned through reinforcement. While others criticize this behaviorist approach, asserting instead that the mechanisms underlying language acquisition are biologically determined, the use of language develops in the absence of formal instruction and appears to follow a very similar pattern in children from vastly different cultures and backgrounds. To further understand the description of language and communication development, here are the major levels of linguistic structure. The diagram outlines the relationship between the types of linguistic units. Speech out sounds make up phonemes, which are words. Words make up sentences, which have literal meaning and contextual meanings. So here we have the definition of the levels. Phonetics is speech sounds. Phonology is phonemes. Morphology is words. Syntax is phrases and sentences. Semantics is literal meaning of phrases and sentences. And lastly, we have pragmatics, which is the meaning in context of disclosure. Obviously, the further out on the circle, the harder it is for children to acquire. Secondly, we have the importance of the domain. Importance of language and development is that language is the foundation of all social interactions. Having problems to communicate can cause frustration for both you as a parent and, most importantly, for your child. The development of languages is strongly interpreted with and supports your child's brain development and cognitive development. Studies have shown that having a large vocabulary increases creativity and helps people come up with new ideas. There are also numerous benefits to learn more than one language. Promoting and learning a friendly learning environment where you can read age-appropriate books to your children is greatly important to their language and communication development. It also boosts their overall progress on other developmental milestones and help provide many growth opportunities later in life. Here are some of the warning signs that parents should be looking out for when interacting with their children. Again, I would like to introduce a quote before beginning this part of the presentation. Children don't say, "I had a bad day. Can we talk?" They will say, "Will you play with me?" by Lawrence Cohen. This just goes to show that children express themselves differently, and although they may not out loud say directly what they feel, they are still trying to communicate a very important message. By 12 months, the child isn't using gestures. This is one of the first warning signs. By 18 months, the child prefers to gesture over vocalizing what their needs and wants. By 2 years of age, they only say one sound or repeated sound. They cannot follow direction and has an unusual tone of voice. It may be higher or lower pitched. These are some risks that are associated with language development, academic difficulties and learning disabilities, shyness and social difficulties, as well as anxiety disorder, and we have behavioral problems as well as ADHD. Here are some activities that parents can do at home in order to promote a healthy language and communication development within your child. The first activity is word games. To expand your child's vocabulary with a word game, you can simply point out items in the home or when you are out and about, or simply describe what you are doing. For example, I am now mixing butter into the batter, or tall buildings are also called skyscraper. You can even give them definition or share background knowledge about these words. This is very important because you are your child's first teacher. Next up, we have activity number 2, which are songs. Aside from harnessing their musical abilities, songs can also help children learn new words. Lyrics have a sense of rhythm and rhyme, so it will be easy for them and entertaining for them to sing along as well. Disney songs are very great as most of them have multiple languages in them and feature a variety of vocabulary for your child to learn from. Activity 3 is storytelling. While storybooks provide an ample entertainment, sharing stories, whether real or make-believe, can provide a good bonding time with your children while helping develop their communication skills. You can take turns exchanging stories about daily events, or simply let them imagination run wild and have them tell you a story of fantasy or make-believe. And finally, we have activity number 4, which is riddles. Riddles are fun ways to use words and paint pictures of scenes or situations. Read or say riddles aloud to each other and explain to your children the different definitions of a single word. Example, school as in a place of learning, or school as in a school of fish to help them better understand the riddle. As always, thank you so much for staying for this presentation, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.